Welcome back. We are at it. It's a Tuesday, Ray Sports and Slams. You think we would miss a week? Never happening. Thanks, you guys, for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. BoinkStudios.com. Ray Sports and Slams is proud to be part of Boink Studios podcast network. Follow us on YouTube for audio and video shows dating back since 2014. That's right. And visit BoinkStudios.com for more info. I hope everybody had a great Father's Day. I had a great time with the family, had nice food, relaxed, and I got the greatest Father's Day present of all time. Let me bring it out. Yes, I did. I got a Kobe Bryant framed picture. Look how nice it is. Woo! I know. Everybody's jealous. But yes, that is Mrs. All Day's gift, and I was very happy to have it. Let me bring in the voices behind the team. First, he has multiple jobs. He's the president of the James Harden Hater Society. He's the vice president of the Joel Embiid Please Leave Society. And he's the number one director and CFO of the Wemby Hater Society, Mack Garvin. What's up?
Hey, man, that's right. I've got 3 titles, America, and I will wear them proudly until further notice. It is good to see everyone. We're here on a Tuesday this week. We will always rock back with Mondays, but today, for this week, only on a Tuesday. We are live at Boink Studios, and yes, Father's Day was good also for me as well. I love these special shirts that the kids give me each year. Super dad, super proud of that. Wear that title well. I just want to say shout out to everyone. Thank you for joining us again. We are live on location at Boink Studios. Here we go.
And finally, the third part of the trifecta. This man said, "Get your umbrella." I said, "Why?" I said, "It's about to rain in 5 seconds." And boy, it sure did, because he's the Nostradamus of the show, Mr. Walter Duncan. What's up, Nostradamus?
What's good, guys? Glad to be back in the building with my fellas. Happy Father's Day to you and all the listeners of the show. You know, we going up on a Tuesday. Ray Sports and Slams is the best. Bump what you say. Let's get it.
Let's get it.
Bump what you say. Man.
Exactly. Before we get into topics, let's say hello to some people. Eric Cologne is in the house. What up, yo?
What up, E-Dub?
Jeff Peters in the house. What's up, my friend?
Yeah, Jeff. What up, brother?
He says, applaud for the Kobe. Thank you. I love it, too. Made me very happy. All right, our first topic. I know Mack doesn't want to talk about it, but we have to talk about it. It is Walker Kessler. You say, who is Walker Kessler? Well, he is a Utah Jazz center who turned down a 5-year, $140 million offer to make him the largest contract ever given to a center who has never appeared in an All-Star game. That's right. He has never appeared in an All-Star game, but yet he was offered some insane money. Walker Kessler is averaging 14, 10, and 3. He's 70% from the free throw line. He wants more money. I'm a little surprised about this. I'm going to go to Walt first. I'm going to say, do you think this will be resolved? And if not, where does he end up? The floor is yours, my friend. I'll let Matt go second, and I will end this one.
Sure. Look, I think that they like him because he's a premier defensively. He's a premier defender, right? He almost averages like 2 blocks a game, right? His points, it's like 14 and double-digit rebounds. He's a walking double-double, but besides that, I don't know how impactful. You need people as a franchise. You need somebody that's going to be a game changer, right? And yes, he's a contributor in my estimation, right? And you need those guys too, right? You need guys who are going to get paid that money. You need those guys to be like front and center, and to be the face of the franchise. I think he wants to be the face of that franchise, and he's not dominant like that, right? He's not on Wemby's level. When Embiid, is healthy, which is never, but when he's healthy enough, he dominates, right? We've seen Embiid dominate. We've seen Joker dominate, and that's why those guys get paid. The bucks they get paid. Look, I understand that. He turned that money down, and like, do we have some mid-tier guys that are earning that, between 20 to 30 million a year? Emmanuel quickly, he just got paid 32. Jalen Johnson from the Hawks just got 30 million, right? Jeremy Grant, he can reach up to 36 million. Michael Porter, $38 million.
You're reading my notes. You're right. Michael Porter's getting what? I think he's getting 30, right?
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But, those are proven guys who had critical roles. Michael Porter's case, right? He had a critical role on a different championship team.
Facts.
Right? And I think Kessler is smelling himself a little bit too much right now. And I think that he needs to understand that was a great offer for him to get from the Jazz. That was a superior, crazy offer for them to give him. And for him to turn it down, he deserves more. To me, that's a slap in the face. Now, before I pass it, where I think he's going to end up, I don't know. He'll probably go be somebody's backup center, or he might go to Sacramento and be their starting center down there or whatever. But I think this is going to end up leading to a trade for Kessler, and he'll probably go to some other team.
Okay, I respect it. Great points, my friend. All right, Mack, what you got?
So, America, we've had this conversation before. We all know that there is how many NBA basketball teams? How many, gentlemen?
32.
32.
Exactly. Every team needs 5 players to start for their team and a bench. This guy is a player for their team, the Utah Jazz. Does he deserve more? America, we talked before this show. When Ray said, hey, we're going to talk about Kessler, I'm like, who's that? He was like, bro, he's with Utah Jazz. They've got a team. Good for them. Sacramento Kings have a team. They do have one. Can anyone name a starter from the Sacramento Kings? Probably not. I can't. But I can't. It's going. I don't even know who the forward is for Utah. They've got a team. I have family that live in Utah. Okay. I said, do you go to any games? Nah, man. They're all right. And that's the point I'm making. This guy thinks he's entitled to more money. First of all, Utah did offer him a great offer for a guy, America, who has yet to make the All-Star team. All-Star team. All-Star, you have to be voted in by the fans. No one from Utah is playing at the All-Star game because they are a mid-tier team. They don't move the needle. This guy thinks he's entitled to more money. And I'm like, first of all, I don't even know if Utah has more to give him, but they got to pay some other guys on their roster. And that, now there's no more tanking. So it's not like they can really do any better as far as getting in the draft. But the point I'm making is this. You need to understand, you aren't a franchise that is mid-market. They're a small market. You're not a popular franchise. You got to have players for people to come see the games. So I'll give you another example. If San Antonio goes to Utah and play, they're going to fill up the stadium because they're coming to see Wemby. They're not coming to see anyone from Utah as starting. So if my concern is if this guy thinks he's worth more, I think this is the agent talking. But, he can try and go out into the market. Maybe Chicago or the Brooklyn Nets may try and make an offer. Who knows? The Lakers might. That's how they roll. But this is one of them deals where he just needs to understand where you are and your market value. If he goes out and try and test free agency, go ahead. Next year he'll be an unrestricted free agent. If they sign him this year, they don't have to pay him maybe $7 or $8 million because his contract technically is up. He's in his last year. But if you're not making numbers and really producing, what up, Walt? What's up?
No, I'm waiting for you to finish. I'm holding my hand.
Okay.
No. You got a point, bro. Go. Say what you got to say, dude.
If he thinks he can get more than that, he's going to have a very rude awakening. What you got, Walt?
Think about this. How many games did he play last year?
That I don't know.
5.
Wow.
What?
He was hurt, right? He had an injury. But he played the year before. He played a full season the year before, right?
58 games.
58. Yeah.
He even played a full season. There's 82.
So,
man.
And also, if you compare DeAndre Ayton to him, they're pretty similar and in the same boat, right?
Yeah.
DeAndre Ayton shoots about 65 to 70% from the field. Kessler was. So we're basing his stats off of 5 games he played last year, by the way.
Yeah.
But he like the year before, if we compare DeAndre Ayton's season last year to his Ayton, then Kessler paid this year, then I think that you see that DeAndre Ayton and he are on the same level. Now, with that being said, would you pay DeAndre Ayton $25-30 million a year? That's my question to you guys.
All right, here's my take. I think this offer is ridiculous. I wouldn't have even offered him $28 million a year. I would have probably given him the league. I mean, he is probably the best player on that team, which says a lot. I maybe would have given him 15, maybe 20. I mean, I know Grant and these other guys are making a lot of money and they're not really superstars like that. Someone will pick him up.
You think someone will sign versus Utah just saying, let's see what you can get?
I think because he's in the last year of his contract, they could play hardball with him because he becomes a free agent and it is what it is. But someone could use a center. He does play defense. I will give him that. I mean, based off a small sample size, because like Walt says, only 5 games, but the year before that, he played 58. And he's actually a pretty good defender. He's actually a better defender than DeAndre Ayton. I think if he's going to leave, I think, you know what time it is?
You know what time it is? It's Lakers talk time.
It's Lakers talk time. I think he's going to end up
and that's
with the
why
Lakers.
I said the Lakers will entertain him.
He could end up with the Lakers. DeAndre Ayton is horrible.
You're getting the same production.
No, you're getting better defender.
That's the problem. He's not a defender, bro.
A free throw shooter. I don't want him, but I think that's where he could probably end up. Maybe a team like the Sixers. I don't know who. I mean, Joel Embiid's always hurt. He could be a backup. I don't know. I think his agent gave him some bad advice. To Mack's point, I think I would take that money and run. I don't know why he didn't. So I agree with both of you. But we shall see. Let's get some comments. The Jazz takes. Why would he want to stay?
Well, yeah, maybe that's why. That's a good point, Jeff.
Tom, is it possible that he gets that money? I don't know, Tom. I don't know. I don't know if anybody's going to pay him $30 million. I think that's insane.
Wow, man, like you're the
He's
Joker.
Getting bad advice from his agent. Terrible advice.
Yeah, absolutely.
Eric's defending him. You can't stop him. You can only contain him.
This guy is a joker.
He's being funny. I get it.
That's meant as
Tom Clark's 6 Cent podcast. Tom Clark's main event. My dude, he's played 5 more games with them. Wow, people got jokes tonight. I applaud that. You know what? That deserves an applaud because that's hysterical. All right. We're switching gears and we're going to talk about some tennis. And yes, Serena Williams has put her name in the hat. She is returning to Wimbledon in 2026, accepting a wild card invitation to compete with the ladies singles and doubles, make it her first competitive appearance in 4 years. Tournament officials held the 8th and final women's singles wildcard spot. She's 44 years old, and based on Mack's sports calculator, that is 63 in tennis years.
That is correct. 62, actually 62.
I apologize, sir. 62. She has 23 Grand Slams. She has 75 titles, 5th most in Open era. She's won 14 Grand Slams, a couple with her sister. Phenomenal. First ballot Hall of Fame tennis player by far. I have 2 sides of this, and I will go first, and then I will let Mack and Walt close. Sure. I applaud her for wanting to play. I believe you should do what you want to do. There's a song, "You're free to do what you want to do." She's allowed to do what she wants to do. You want to play, do your thing. However, like Max said, you are 62 in tennis years. I would hate to see a legend and an icon of tennis get mollywopped in the first round and get destroyed by some 19-year-old. I know Mack for 1,000 years. Great athlete. I think if he's playing ball against a 19-year-old superstar right now, he would get destroyed. Same with Walt, same with myself. Time stops for nobody. There's a person that no one can beat. He's undefeated. His name is Father Time. Serena's in great shape. She's phenomenal. Again, this is no shade on her. I just feel like she left on such a high note. I just don't want to see her get mollywopped in the first round, get embarrassed like that. She's entitled to play. It's her God-given right. She entered. She got picked. Do your thing, girl. However, I just don't want to see this end up too ugly. If she does something, I don't see her going far in this tournament. There's too many top players in the women's league right now that I think would just crush her, just based solely on age, nothing else, not on skill. I think Serena in her prime will mollywop any of these girls, but it is what it is. Mac, what you got, brother?
You know what? You're hitting it right on the head, Ray. My thought process is the first thing would be why? Like why? Like you retired for a reason. You left the game because of, and I don't think it was injuries. You're right. She played her last game. It was emotional. Unfortunately, she lost, but she got up and was like, there's more to life than tennis. It is, absolutely is. Are you that bored at this point of why you have this need to come back? I don't think she has a Jordan-esque capability because the sport is too different, but also Jordan came back younger than she did as far as his second round. Now, full disclosure, she obviously still has the ability to play. I don't think any other 44-year-old, just like Tom Brady, no one else has able to take care of their body the way she has, and her physique and her ability definitely God-given, but obviously she worked hard for her ability that she can compete. 23 titles, there is really nothing left. There is nothing left to prove because no one else has gotten close at this point as far as Grand Slam titles as she has. I can see if she felt threatened and said, maybe if I can get maybe another, but her record at this point speaks for itself. There's no one who's close. The closest competitor at this point is at 10. 10. Let that sink in. But the fact that she's willing to try and do it again is what I don't understand, because I just don't feel like there's nothing to prove. Just like Tom Brady when he won 6 and he won 7. His wife was like, what is there left to prove? Because he was considering coming back for another season. And unfortunately, she left him, but that's another whole topic. So I don't understand why she is doing what she's doing, because she raised the bar way back early on. The issue was better pay, equal pay. When she was able to successfully do that for their women's sport, for tennis, that should have been like, I've done everything for this sport. I have given everything to this sport. So I don't understand why she's doing it.
Before I go to Walt, do you think she sees LeBron? It's a completely different sport, but you got to admit, at 41, LeBron is playing all-star level basketball. Does she think because of that, maybe, and I'll let Walt answer the question and obviously give his take on her coming back. Do you think that's kind of like psychologically saying, hey, if he could do this, maybe at 44, I can, because I'm in good shape too? I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there.
Answer the question before I give my take.
No problem at all. You know what, Ed, that's an interesting thought process. They are two different sports, but what we do know is that her bad day is someone's best day. Facts. That we do know. So I'm thinking maybe, I don't know, Ray. Like there's nothing left for her to prove in the sport.
I don't know.
Like, bro. You know what I'm saying, bro? I mean, I hear you, but I'm just like, I don't know.
I'm trying to think. I said I'm grasping at straws, thinking of what's the motivation behind it. All right, well, the floor is yours, sir.
Fellas, you are thinking too hard about it. What do great athletes like to do? Compete, right? Michael Jordan talks about it all the time. Like the competitor in him would love to be able to lace up his sneakers and play with some of these guys, play against some of these guys now, right? It's the love of the game. That's the why behind it. You're right. She doesn't have anything to prove, win or lose. And another thing I think that nobody touched on yet is Serena is a draw, right? She's going to draw fans. She's going to bring people and bring more attention to the sport. Right now, like, you could probably only name like maybe one or two, maybe three people off the top of your head for women's tennis that you know. Right? You know, like you probably don't know who the number one in the world is, right? You probably know some of them because of them being in the news and stuff like that. But you know what I'm saying? So like I think that's what it is. That's Serena's why, right? She just wants to play for the love of the game, and she's gonna bring people are gonna want to see her play. Like people forget about Venus, right? Like she was playing in singles matches at 45. You know what I'm saying? But because Serena was the bigger star and won more, she got more notoriety on it. But Venus was playing at 45, in single and doubles matches as well. I think Serena, especially with the doubles matches, can still have success. I think who was it? Martina Navratilova. She won. Yeah, Navratilova. She won a doubles title at I think 40 in her 40s. Right.
Yes. She
did. There can still be some success, and people are going to want to come see her play. Just like if Tiger Woods, was to ever come back and play, people want to see Tiger Woods play because they're looking at, at his height, and not physical height, but at the height of his game, what he was, right? And so that's what people want to see. It's the same thing for Serena, and so I think kudos to her. She lost over 30 pounds. So she's probably in great shape. Probably give her body time to heal. Yes, is it going to be hard to play against some 20-something, 19-something-year-olds? Sure. But I think that she's going to do it for the love of the game because she just wants to go out there and have some fun.
I mean, the last man I know that went really far in a tournament at an elderly age was Jimmy Connors. I think he was 38 or 39, and he went to maybe the round of 8 or Sweet 16. He went pretty far in a major tournament. I just don't know how far she could go in a tournament right now. There's some great women players out there right now. And you're right. I don't know who the number 1 seed is right now in the women's competition. I follow more the men's side. I'm a big Alvarez guy. But I just don't know, dude. It's such a tough sport. Tennis is hard. I played it a couple of times, dude. When I was much younger, and that's a sport, dude. She dropped the weight. She looks fantastic, but she is 44. She's not 24.
So, Ray, when you were playing tennis, did you make the sound effects too?
Yes, I did. So, I mean, well, my question to you, and then Mack, last time we go around this, I mean, do you feel like, let's say in the first round, she faces some 19-year-old upstart and gets swept in 3 straight sets? Do you think that will tarnish her at all, or you feel like she won't care and who cares?
Because she already said it. She's not trying to prove anything to anybody. Even if she loses, right, and she just continues to lose, nobody's going to be able to take away the fact that she has 23 major titles, right? That she has that many, right? And so she loses all the time when she plays. She's still going to have those 23. So I don't think it matters.
All right, Mack, I'll let you end this one.
I'm with you on that, Walt. At this point, so the number 1 seed right now her name is Arna Sabalenka. She's the number 1 seed at this point. She's obviously not going to play her first match. But what I do know is this. Right now in the modern era, the closest as far as Grand Slam titles is 7. As far as female athlete. And she's got 23 of them. Now there's others who are 19, 22, 21. There's others who have a lot of Grand Slam titles as well, just like her. But, at this point here, it'll be just because if she does lose, she'll bow gracefully and say, I did it. Just like you said, Walt, I completely forgot the thought of the love of the game. I still can. See, that's the difference. She still can, where others are trying to get to the tournament in their 20s. And that's the difference, man. That just shows how great she is, man. So kudos to her.
All right, man. Tom says she's going to see walk on that court and crush the fools.
I love that.
Oh, my God.
She has.
She has done it. Serena is taking a chance to have a career-ending injury, going back out there and playing again, just like LeBron James does every time he goes out and plays. Yeah. I mean, but apparently she's in phenomenal shape. LeBron spends $1 million on his body. I'm sure Serena's spending some big bucks on hers. She probably has top-notch training and top-notch chefs and nutrition. So I know she's not going to go out there and be exhausted and tired. I just think that, again, Father Time is just going to do her in. But we should say I wish her the best. Again, no shade on her. I love her. She's a phenomenal icon. But like I said, I just have a soft spot for her, and I just don't want to see her get, like I said, get swept in the first round. She probably won't care, but it is what it is. All right, the hottest story.
We'll all be watching.
We'll be watching. Facts, dude. Yeah. The hottest story in the world. Giannis Antetokounmpo. He is gone from the Milwaukee Bucks. Yes, folks. Andre Antetokounmpo says, "See you later, hasta la vista." He is traded to the Miami Heat for Bobby Portis, and the Bucks receive Tyler want to be a guitar hero, Jamie Vasquez, Keller Ware, Jasparis Jaconis, and 3 first-round picks, including the 13th overall pick. A pick swap with the second-round pick. Milwaukee's aggressive in this package of young players, future draft picks. The Boston Celtics were going to pull the trigger, but they didn't want to get rid of Jaylen Brown and 2 first-rounders, which I don't blame them for. In terms of who I think won or lost, I think that it's kind of a draw. I think Milwaukee has some great draft capital. They're not going to make noise for a while. I think Miami has boo-boo, ahu, abahu, tubahu, bam, bam, slam, slam, the fake Kobe. So hidden Giannis and Wiggins. I don't see that team doing enough to win the East. I can see them getting better, making the playoffs, maybe a 6th seed at best, maybe 5th. But do I see them breaking that glass ceiling and beating the Knicks or beating Boston or beating Detroit? No. Giannis got his wish. He threw his little temper fit, left. He would have been much better on Boston, but to Boston's credit, I applaud Boston. I would have never given you first rounds and Jaylen Brown. You're out of your mind. If it was Jaylen straight up, maybe. But you want 2 picks and him? No shot. So we shall see. Do you like this trade, Mack? And who do you think won?
Do I like the trade? No. I understand why Giannis did leave also too. Like, you know what I mean? Like he reached the ceiling. They got Dame time. It never worked out for him. Like, you know what I mean? Damian Lillard got there. Then the next scene injured. They just never had a full opportunity for them both guys to work together. So I understand. Like they want, but he won a title, so he is a champion. So I will give him that. He can rest his head on that. I think, you know, the situation with the Celtics, you're right, Ray. I thought for sure the medium circus was going back and forth almost hour to the minute. We're up at 11 something last night. Like, is this happening or not? And then finally, someone finally pulled the trigger. Kudos to Riley, the Godfather. That's what people call him. He got his guy. But yeah, Wiggins and Bam Bam Bingo. You know what I mean? I'm like, okay, if that it, how you gonna win when
with no guard?
Tyler Hero, he was okay. I mean, he was kind of like a bat Robin, you know what I mean, on the team with Bam. I mean, I understand why they had to give players and picks. They obviously gave more picks than the Celtics were willing to do, so they got him. You know, and I think it came down between those 2 teams specifically. So, you know, I don't know, man. This is it. He left. I don't know if this is a better situation or not. I just don't think it is.
All right, Walt. I see your head shaking, and I hear the fire. Go ahead, dude.
So I'm a Miami Heat fan, and you know I've been wanting Pat Riley to make a splash and get somebody right. I just don't love this trade. Right. I understand they wanted to pair Bam and Giannis together, and now you add Bobby Portis. So it's gonna be they're all great defensive players. You know what I'm saying? But like you gutted your whole entire team. You gutted, your young guys just to get, someone who's had some injuries these last couple of seasons too, right? And Giannis, he's tall, he's lanky. Yeah, he's cut and stuff like that. But one of the things we were always worried about with Wemby is injury because of how tall and lanky he is. He's playing down in the post. Giannis does a lot of that, and that's why he gets a lot of his points, right? Is being down in the post, bumping, and against those big bodies and stuff like that. So I don't love that. He's 31. He's still in his prime. So of course he can still play. He's still a great player. Don't get me wrong. He's top tier. When healthy, he's one of the top players in the league, right?
Facts.
But I'm not loving this. Like I think that they're gonna need to, now that the Heat have traded all these guys away, they're gonna have to fill the roster out, and they're gonna have to do it. They're gonna have to do it to the point where, like, I don't think this year they'll be competitive. They'll maybe a little bit better because they have Giannis, but I think that this is going to be like a year they just try to like see what they have, and then next year we will see the true iteration of what this team could be once Pat Riley and the front office finish building around Giannis and Bam, right? So who won the trade? The Bucks by far, because they said, "Hey, we just won a chip a few years ago, and Giannis did that. He doesn't want to be here. We don't get along. Let's get this draft haul." We saw OKC do this, right? They traded a player, and they built their team through the draft. So I think that the Milwaukee Bucks are okay with that, right? They got some serviceable guys, and they have, I think, the number 10 pick in the draft this year and the number 13 pick in the draft this year.
Because of that trade.
Those are great picks to have, right? And so I think that they're just going to build the team that way, right? They have a great point guard. I think Rollins is his name.
Yeah,
he started showing out last year in his first year. So they're going to see what this team could be and build around these guys. And, we're going to see probably more, acquisitions for them come up. I think landslide, the Bucks won this because they're planning for the future. The Heat, I'm still in the wait and see approach because I just don't know. I honestly don't know. In order for Giannis to be successful, think about it. What made Giannis successful during the championship run? He had a great point guard.
Yeah,
right?
There's no point
Drew
guard.
Holiday.
Yeah.
Mitchell is a serviceable guy, but he's not Drew Holiday.
He's not close. That's what I said in the beginning. I said you have Bam Bam, thank you, ma'am. I'll buy you boo hoo hoo hoo. And Giannis, you got no guard. You have no point guard.
Yeah.
Guard is serviceable. And Walt is being nice. Walt is the nicest guy I think I've known in a long time. Serviceable in me and Mack's terms means garbage. So you have no guard. So you have two big men. You have two big men, and you got no ball handler. I think it's all right. My big question to both you gentlemen, and I'll let Mack answer first. Now that Jaylen Brown's obviously going to stay in Boston, will there be tension now, knowing that they were going to trade him? He was on the bubble of being traded, but because they wanted the picks, they didn't have it. Do you think they'll end up still trading him, or will he stay in Boston? And how will that work, dude? Because I think that's going to be such an awkward situation.
All righty. So to answer your question, he's gone. I gotta learn how to face. He's gone. He's gone. I'm telling you all the notes. He's gone. He is gone, bro. Because there is no way at this point, chemistry with the front office and him. You showed your hand that you were willing to let me go. Last year, Mr. T.T. Tatum was gone, and I rallied our team. We made it to the playoffs. Well, he came right when the playoffs started, but he made them a franchise that remained relevant versus everyone thought it was over, and he shows you that he can be the guy. And now, of course, Tatum is like, hey, man, listen, I'm just trying to fit in how I can figure out. There was a question mark if he was going to come back or not, and he did. And he came into the team, and they gelled, and they figured it out, and they made some noise. They got beat, though. So the question is now that we know that they're choosing Tatum versus him, that is what's not going to sit well with him personally. They know they're going to have to trade him, bro. There's no way he can.
Okay.
If the coach is able to, it's going to be some hard work, bro, for the coach to figure this out if they make a decision to try and keep him. But I don't think he's going to make noise like other players can and do. As much as we may not like Giannis, it wasn't like Giannis was on record every week talking trash about his team. He very much stated his intention of he wanted to stay, and it came down to a decision. So let me ask you this, Walt. I guess you're not buying a Giannis jersey this come season. Like, what are you gonna do?
No, like Giannis is a good player, but I don't think I'm always gonna rock that Dwayne Wade 3. No matter what.
I love Dwayne Wade. You never get me to give you grief on him. So,
and so to answer your question, Ray, as far as Jaylen Brown and the Celtics, this is the second time they've tried to offer him for Giannis, right? When there was talks before about Giannis being traded.
Time I was going to say this, but go ahead.
Yeah,
they were gonna offer him then as well, right? And so I think as a player, that probably fuels Brown because he's like, he was already amped up last year, this season because of all the naysayers saying that, oh, they're not going to do anything without Tatum. They're done. They're washed or whatever. And so Jaylen Brown is going to be on a revenge tour. I think he wants to go somewhere where he can be the guy, and he's going to use this situation with the Boston Celtics to show them like, hey, you can have Tatum. I'm that guy. I'm him. And so I think that's what's going to happen. I think he is gone. Like NSYNC said, I can't hit the notes like you, Mac, but like NSYNC said, yeah, he's gone.
So like Tevin Campbell, goodbye.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
All right, I have one thought he could go. You know what time it is?
You know what time it is? It's Lakers talk time.
He could go to the Lakers. I would love that. That would be a good fit. Jaylen Brown, what's up?
Hold on, Ray. Now, I understand. Yes, I agree with you. That would be a dynamic fit alongside Luka.
Yeah.
But if that happens, AR is gone.
That's okay.
Yeah.
I love Jaylen Brown.
Yeah.
I love Jaylen Brown. I love AR. Let's get me wrong, but Jaylen Brown to Mack's point, he carried that team the whole season.
But how
got
would
them to the
Luka
playoff?
feel? Luka, that wouldn't go well with Luka.
Yeah, because Luka likes AR.
Yeah.
Mack brings up points. God, I hate when you two
it won't happen. Bro.
Logic and facts. It's so annoying.
Yeah.
You two with these facts and knowledge is ridiculous. All right, we're switching gears. Julius Randle. Yes, we're talking Julius Randle. He was traded, unfortunately, to the Brooklyn Nets in a three-team blockbuster deal during the draft. The trade involved the Bulls. The Nets received Julius Randle and the 28th pick in the draft to Minnesota. The 33rd overall pick goes to them, and Chicago Bulls get Nick Claxton. So basically, Julius Randle was traded for a second-round pick. That's like me saying, I'm going to give you a bag of jelly beans for your flat-screen TV. Mac, I have a pencil case. I would really love your car. Like, wow, Julius Randle was an all-star last year. And the second fiddle to Anthony Edwards, I'm shocked that he got traded for bubble gum and a couple of pretzel sticks. Insane trade. I'm shocked. Well, do you think this trade was good? I mean, I'm shocked that he got traded for just hot garbage.
I'm not shocked, right? Think about it. Because Julius Randle, if you look at yes, he can ball. He balls during the regular season, right? He may have one or two good playoff games. But when it comes down to crunch time, when Anthony Edwards was hurt, you would expect Julius Randle to turn into that guy, right? That's why the Lakers traded him. That's why the Knicks traded him. And that's why the Minnesota Timberwolves traded him, right? Because he is not that dude, and you can't depend on him in crunch time. I'm going to put Julius Randle in the same bucket as James Harden. And, what don't you think about this? They've both gone to the Brooklyn Nets. Wow. Wow. So, no, I am not surprised. I think this is good for Minnesota. They need somebody that's going to push Anthony Edwards to that next level. He needs his true He needs his Batman. Ant-Man needs his true Robin.
And Julie,
that's what they're looking for. And it's not Randle. Randle was like Alfred. Alfred. He shows up. He shows up sometimes, and then in the comics, Alfred has thrown some hands. He's not Robin, bro.
All right, Mac. Do you think they could have gotten more for him than just a second round? I mean, again, I know I hear all Walt's excellent points, but I'm playing devil's advocate. Do you think you could have fought for a little more than that? But
So here's my thought. When he brought up Alfred, America, just so you know that Alfred was an Avenger at one point in the comic books. Full disclosure. So, but I think Walt is bringing up the point. He is James Harden 2.0, 3.0. The guy crunches. He disappears when you need him the most. When Ant went down, that guy I don't like anymore. This is one of these situations where you expect him to elevate. He should have turned into, just like Tatum got hurt. Brown elevated and said, all right, I'm going to prove to you that I'm the guy. And he made it a point when all the naysayers said, no, you're his Robin, bro. Accept that. And he's like, no, I'm not. I can be Batman also too. And he proved that. And Julius did not do that. And I think he's in a situation where I shouldn't say you reap what you sow, because he wasn't a boisterous mouthpiece, unlike James Harden is, demanding stuff. It's unfortunate he got traded, but it just goes to show him also too, if you don't elevate like we need you to, we can let you go. And I'm surprised Cleveland still has that bum named Harden, because we've seen what he is. We've seen, and you're right, Walt. He is proven, and that's why he's been traded over 4 times. You know what I'm saying? Like, you and could they have gotten more for him? Possibly, but now Minnesota is going to be a situation of what are they going to do? Because now you left there one guy who quit with 7 minutes in the game. Now he's by himself again. They got to find someone else now. How about this as an idea? How about Moran?
Comments. Does the signing lure any other big names to the Heat? Need a guard, Tom. Guard would be great. Jeff brings up a great point. Jaylen Brown for LeBron James. Yes. Sounds good to me.
No.
See ya.
No, bro. It's not
LeBron.
No. How about John Moran?
Ooh, I like that.
To the Heat.
I like that.
Ooh, yes.
I like
no,
that.
at this point, he is, bro. We all know right now this dude is an untradeable asset. No one wants him.
Pat Riley would switch him up.
And if he went to the Heat, I think it would be a situation where it'll be stipulation where you got one time to screw up and we're cutting you and no one else ain't gonna want you.
Facts.
So I think Riley could do something with him.
Eric said, Mack, was that Jarvis who was an Avenger? But that's a great
No, it was not, brother. It was Alfred. Alfred was an Avenger.
Okay, facts it up. All right. We're switching gears. We're talking about Ayu Dosunmu, who is getting paid. I guess Julius Randle's loss is his game, because he intends to sign a 5-year, $112 million contract to return to the Timberwolves with a player option in the 5th season. They shipped the 3-time All-Star forward Julius Randle to the Nets, so they made it a priority for him to be basically maybe his Robin to Ant-Man. I don't know. I like the dude. He had a great playoff game. I don't know if I'd pay this guy $112 million, but hey, you get your money, dude. I'm never going to hate on someone getting your bag. I just don't think that bag should have been like that. I mean, I know you didn't want to lose somebody because, but the sample size you're basing this on, and we had this conversation off air, dude, you had 1 or 2 really good playoff games, but now you're going to pay this guy $5 for $112? That's, I don't know, a little crazy. Well, do you like this, or you think this is crazy?
Look, AO is younger. He stepped up. They traded. I think they got him from the Bulls this past season, so they see something in him, right? And he stepped into that role when Ant-Man was hurt, right, and out. He won them the game. He had 43 points. He dropped against the Nuggets, right?
Facts.
That helped them win that series. So he became, Robin in that situation. He became the guy, and we were expecting it to be Randle, right? They averaged about the same amount of points in the playoffs this year, or whatever. Like, I think Randle was at 16 points and Dosunmu was at 15.6, so right around 16 points. So you really weren't losing anything, right? And Randle only had, I think, a couple of games where he may have hit 20 points or so, but like I don't know, that's kind of why I think they seen it, because they want Randle to have that killer instinct, and he just doesn't seem to have it. I was reading something earlier about Julius Randle and Harden, and people were putting them in the same bucket because they tend to shrink in crunch time. So yes, kudos to AO for getting this contract. I think Minnesota sees something in him, and to see him being a crucial piece to this team going forward. Now they just got to try to find somebody else. And think about it, DiVincenzo, he just had an Achilles tear as well, right? So who knows?
Yes, he is. Wow. He ain't coming back next year.
You know what I'm saying? So like they wanted to lock this guy down and everything. So yeah, I like it.
Okay. You like it, Mack?
I think it's the same energy what Walt just said. They made a decision to pay somebody, and they chose this kid. He's younger, and if he can give us the same numbers as Randle is now, they see the upside. And again, he turned into they're the Robin for them, or AKA, Batman, or he became the guy for him when that dude who quit with 7 minutes in the game left did not play well and was injured. So Dasumi, he stepped in, and that's what they want. He's younger, and on the same token, I think it was the right move. He's another Kessler situation. He's on the roster. They're two different positions, but does everyone know who AO is? No. But I think because of the presence and the noise that he made when they were in their playoff run helped him. And Julius should have, but he didn't. And so this guy stepped in to be that guy for them. So I'm happy for him. He got paid. And Ray, this isn't, top tier money. This isn't max money. But it is solid pay. It's a pay increase for him. And his agent was like, take this damn money. This is going to be the best you're going to get. Unlike Kessler's agent trying to hype this dude up, like, bro, you're not him. You can try and be, you probably have 2 letters, H and I, but you ain't got letter M, bro. So, like, you know what I'm saying?
That's true.
Yeah. So
I cannot say you're wrong.
Yeah, I think this is a good situation for him. They did a good thing by honoring and paying him, and they made a decision to let Randle go. They got some compensation for him. They knew they wasn't going to get a lot because of what happened with Harden. You're doing the exact same thing like Harden, and you're 5 teams now later. And I think they knew if we can get something for him versus just letting him walk is why they did with Randle. So kudos to him. Happy for him.
All right, man. Let's get to some comments. Eric Lone looking to argue with you. Alfred is in the DC universe. Jarvis is in the Marvel universe.
Eric, bruh, the point of the conversation.
This is a comic book war. I'm like, when did this start?
I'm with you, Eric. I hear you, bro. I hear you. But the comment made was Alfred as this unexpected person. And
no more comic book references. Turns into a comic book show. Oh my God. Wow. Can't get rid of everyone on a playoff team, so someone just had to get paid.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, good point, Jeff. I love it.
Right?
All right. We're switching gears, and we're going to talk about Dusty May. Dusty May has decided to leave college and is leaving the University of Michigan, and he's now the new coach of the Dallas Mavericks. As a result of leaving the NBA, he owes Michigan $5 million for his buyout. Michigan's contract extension details. He's getting paid. Kudos to Dusty May. I am for it. You know what? He's proved what he can. I would have loved to see him try to win it again with Michigan, but you know what? You have a chance to do something with Kyrie and always hurt Anthony Davis. Kudos to you, dude. I hope they give him some rope because you're gonna have some tough roads ahead. I think Dallas has to make a lot of moves. You have Kyrie who thinks the world is flat, and you got Anthony Davis who's always hurt. So you got 2 big head cases and 2 big problems. They're both phenomenal players when they play. It's a shame, but kudos to Dusty. I mean, we shall see. I mean, he's a proven winner in Michigan. I don't know how it will transcend into the NBA game, but let him get his flowers. Let him get his run. Are you for this, Mack? Or you think he should have stayed, or are you happy that he left?
Okay, so full disclosure for me, there's how many guys that are currently assistant coaches in the league. I understand Dusty. They gave him a shot. You're right. I would like to think that they offered this to Mr. Hurley versus this guy. Maybe they did, and he said no. Dust just won the chip. His iron is not getting any hotter or brighter. I thought the Huskies was going to win it. We had to talk about that. I had to eat some humble pie because of it. But you know what I'm saying? I think I would have hoped to think that they offered Hurley a contract or tried to lure him first before Dusty, just because Hurley's been at the chip. They've won more than he has. Dusty knows the iron is good as it getting, and they offered him a contract. They paid him more, and that buyout money, sure. Dallas will eat that for him. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a non-factor. I just hope Dusty does get some rope, and he needs to understand these are pro players. However, NIL money, the way it is now, some of these kids in college act like they are. So I think maybe the philosophy of how he's going to manage these talent on his team. Flag, he just played against them last year. So Flag is their guy. And you're right. If this guy can think the world is flat, what else could he think? You know, so Kyrie, I mean, he is what he is, man. So I think he has an opportunity to take a look on his roster. They'll at least give him at least 2 years. At least they got to give him at least 2 or 3 years. At least 2 minimum, because he just came out of college and understand to translate the game to the NBA. We'll see. So I'm optimistic, but I think there's other candidates that should have got a shot at head coaching versus this guy. So who's been in the league longer?
All right. Well, are you for this or are you against this? All right. And what do you think Dusty will do?
So kudos to Dusty, for getting this deal and everything. I think that, he will possibly have success on the NBA level. We've seen it happen before. Larry Brown is part of the top comes to mind. The top coach that comes to mind. Another one is Brad Stevens.
Yes, Brad Stevens would be my guy.
Right. Mm-hmm. And, he came into the NBA and coached the Celtics and actually won a chip with them. So I think that
had much better talent, though.
I think that, we'll see what Flag turns into. The kid was 19 and he had a pretty solid year for a 19-year-old.
Decent season.
Yeah, decent. I like Cooper Flag. He's solid.
I think Cooper is going to be, one of the top guys eventually. And, I think we will see that eventually happen. But he still has some room to grow. And I think you're giving Dusty like a blank canvas to build this team as he sees fit. And we will go from there. But yeah, I like it for Dusty. Kudos to the Mavs. Hopefully, he'll succeed. Is he going to win the championship and all that? Time will tell. We don't know. But kudos to him for, at least taking a shot.
All right. And we have some comments. Jeff says Dallas will cover that $5 million for Dusty May. All right.
Yeah. Bro,
and Eric's a comic nerd. Okay. That's not.
I appreciate that, Eric. We can talk, brother.
All right, we can talk. All right, we're switching gears. We're staying in the NBA. We're talking about Angel Reese. Angel Reese has done something. She's become the fastest player in WNBA history to reach 1,000 career rebounds, securing the milestone in her 79th game as the Atlanta Dream earned a 113-196 victory against Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever on Saturday. Reese in her first season with Atlanta finished with 18 points and 8 rebounds in the win. Kudos, applaud to Angel Reese. I'm 50-50 with her in this Caitlin Clark beef thing. I think they got to build something else with this. Angel Reese is great by herself. She doesn't need a villain to validate her, in my opinion. I think it's a phenomenal milestone for her to do it in such a short duration of time. And I give her all her flowers. Do you applaud this? Do you like this, Walt? And do you think, like I said, this whole Caitlin Reese thing should finally just kind of like move on and let this go?
I love the fact that Angel Reese, did this. It just shows who she is as a competitor. I think she's good for the game. I think that, that we've only seen a glimpse of what she'll become. And I think she's great for the city of Atlanta. So I plan to go see a couple of games with her. I'm going to go check her out and check the team out, the Atlanta Dream. They have a good record this year. I think they're going to be competing, in the playoffs when the playoffs come around. So we will see what happens. And she's a vital piece of that team, right? And they need her in order to succeed, which is why they traded for her, right? Yeah. So because they saw that, I think the Chicago Sky was the team that drafted her. So, Atlanta was like, hey, we got to get her down here. And, they have a solid team that they put together. You know what I'm saying? So as far as her beef with Caitlin, that is something that I think is actually good for the game. We love to see a rivalry, right? Because you're going to have some people in Caitlin's corner. You're going to have some people in Angel Reese's corner, right? So I think it's actually good for the game. They were beefing in college. I think they played in 2 different championships against each other.
Yeah, the finals a year. LSU, right? The LSU game and Caitlin Clark's team. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so like I think they've always had that beef, and it just carried over to the WNBA. So I think it's good because we like to see those things. Like we like to see a rivalry, right? Like just like with the like who was a big rivalry rival for the Knicks in the NBA. I know they had some rivals with the Bulls, right? Back in with
Bulls
the
and Indiana.
Yeah, so like those are rivalries, and we love to see that. So I think it's just good. It's good for the WNBA. Let's keep that rivalry going. I hope that they end up playing each other at some point in the playoffs, and I think it'll be made for TV. So let's keep it going.
Okay. Yeah. All right, Mack, what you got, brother?
So you know what? This whole situation for Angel Reese, kudos to her. Unfortunately, they did villainize her coming into the league against Caitlin Clark. It's unfortunate. But she rose above it. She signed with Reebok as far as brand wise goes, as far as sneakers, and then Shaq is in her ear talking to her and just helping her in this process. Because at one point, they didn't like Shaq for being dominant and hated on him also too because how big he was, and complained about it's not fair to compete against that guy. So I understand like they've had a kinship conversation, and I love the growth that's happening for the WNBA. We need the rivalries. It cannot just be one team playing another team. Do I think it's over? It became a situation, and I'll rewind the clock for America. It was the finals that year with LSU against them, and the whole issue with Caitlin Clark, how Angel was just being competitive against her. And then the media ran with the saying that she was a dirty player. And why would she do that when she did the whole thing like this to Caitlin Clark? Because Caitlin did it to her. Caitlin did it to Angel, but it was, that's called being competitive and a passion for the game. But when Angel did it back to her, she's blah, blah. It was just and unfortunately became a culture thing too, black versus white. And it turned into something for the wrong reason, not an inspiration of competition between players. So when they both got drafted the same year, it was obvious it was on the calendar, Chicago Sky against the Fever, and it became must-watch TV. Is this going to continue or not? So they need disparity with their league to create, you're right, just Walt said, rivals. Right now, Asia Wilson, is on one end of it. A lot of people hated on Caitlin Clark also too, which is unfortunate, but she brought spotlight to the league and also got him a better contract. And on the same token, chartered planes also for their league because people were coming to the games, with Caitlin being there. So they can hate on her all they want to, but if it wasn't for her coming to the league, I don't think Angel would have this spotlight of success because there wouldn't have been someone, in the league that she can compete against. So it was definitely 100% a plus, and they need more. They need more players to have, to have some rivalry with.
Facts. All right, we're switching gears. We're talking about Brandon Ayuk, and why are we talking about Brandon Ayuk? Because he decided to show a video saying, "Go Commanders, go Commanders." Raise hell, take Commanders. He also had a photo with him and Mark Rippon hosting Lombardi Trophy after Washington won the Super Bowl. Mack, what do you think this means? Do you care? And why is he doing this, considering he's just Brandon Ayuk and he's not that dude yet? But it is what it is.
This is one of them deals, Ray. Do I really care? No. We all know his situation. The guy made comments and got cut from his team. He's got to keep his name in the media to try and get on a roster somewhere, man. This guy, I don't know, man. I don't even know why we're talking about, but we are. I got nothing for you, man.
All right. We'll keep that one short. I just found it hilarious that he's auditioning for the Commanders. I don't even know the Commanders are even interested in him.
Nah,
I think it's kind of that's why I think it's funny that he's literally like, "Hey, Commanders, what's up?" And the Commanders like, "Do we talk before?
Who are you? Yeah,
who are you?
Yeah, he's not on the team right now.
He's not on the team, so I don't know. All right, well, what you got?
Look, this guy, I think we should keep it short and sweet with Brandon because he's acting like a diva receiver. I think he had one and a half good seasons before the injury, and I think some situations just aren't good, right? Right, wrong, and different. Who like you just don't mesh. He doesn't mesh with the 49ers and their brass. We saw this with AJ Brown. That's why AJ Brown is on the Patriots. Someone is going to look at Brandon Ayuk and like the talent that they see and be okay trying to tolerate and deal with the person. I think the 49ers are ready to just get him out of there and get him gone. Do I care where he goes? No, I don't. Like he needs to you know where he needs to go to? He needs to go to a place that a coach would get him in line and wouldn't play that. You know what I'm saying?
Bill Parcells type if he was still coaching.
You know who I think might be good? You know who I think might be good for him? I think that he'll be good to go to the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yes.
Andy Reid.
Andy Reid don't play.
Resurgence for a career. Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah,
I'm not mad at that.
Okay.
All right, we talked about this guy long enough. I agree. We'll talk about somebody that I really want to talk about. Mr. Messi has broken the record almost 20 years to the day that the record was done by Diego Maradona. He's become the #1 World Cup scoring champion. Shout out to Lionel Messi. He is the king. I think this is great for him. And I'm going to go on record now. I think Argentina is going to go back-to-back and win this cup. I feel like they've got such a passion and drive right now. He's playing out of his mind. He's playing like he's 28, not 38, and he's doing all he's got to do. Argentina looks tough, and they look very hard defensively to score. Their goalie has made some saves that are like, whoa. I've been watching. Shout out to Messi, dude. All right, Mac, what you got?
You know what, Ray? First of all, is it Lionel or Lionel?
Lionel.
Lionel? Okay,
Yeah.
I just want to make sure. Like,
It's all good, sir.
Yeah, give the man Messi. I got his last name figured out. Kudos to him. I think this will energize the team. We've seen it happen before where players, all of a sudden just rise above and just play out of their mind, and it just permeates through the team. We saw with the Knicks with Brunson with game 5. He was like wheeled the team to the victory, 45 points on his own and 40 by everyone else. So we know that a player can galvanize and it just becomes contagious. And I think that's what's going on with Argentina right now. I mean, last week, America, I picked between Spain and England to go to to compete for the cup. But, I knew Argentina has this guy named Lionel Messi, and we've seen what he has been and we've seen what he is. He is the man. Ric Flair, to be the man, you got to beat the man. And what he did for their sport, kudos to him. I've got nothing but praise for him. I think Argentina is going to make some noise also now.
All right, well, I'll let you end this one.
Look, again, kudos to him. He plays for, Miami team as well. He won there. Everywhere he goes, he seems to win.
Mm-hmm.
I have a question for you, which you guys can answer later. Is he the GOAT of soccer? That's a question to think about, right? So, like Lionel, I think like he is definitely the glue. He's the guy for that team, and as long as they have him, they're gonna be able to compete, right? I think he had a hat trick in one of these games, and he just scored again. So he's a goal waiting to happen, right? So he's very dynamic.
Walking goal. He's a walking goal.
He's a walking goal. Like I think as long as they have him healthy, they'll be good. Now, I think that there are a lot of great teams in the World Cup. Argentina has a shot as long as they have him, but I still don't know if I see Argentina repeating. It's so hard to repeat. And I think the last time it's been done was early in the
23 or whatever year it was.
Yeah, it's been forever.
So
I definitely understand. It's an uphill battle. It's very, very tough. And I think France has a fantastic team. Zimbabwe is phenomenal. Mm-hmm. And they have another player on France that's excellent. So there's going to be some problems there. All right, we're switching to the pigskin. And we have a great topic. The 2026 supplement draft is on hold. That means Brandon Sorsby, I don't know what's going to happen. This dude put himself in a bad predicament with gambling. This is Matt's topic because you don't know Mack's middle name is NFL. So Mack NFL Garden, what you got, sir?
All right, so America, I pushed for this as a topic, y'all. This is the cautionary tale, America, of 100% definition of you reap what you sow. You made bad choices, and the NFL took a stance. Last week, we talked about with the supplemental draft, and I said if they do it, it opens the door. What team will take the risk that this guy won't bet on their team? What team will take the chance to say, if they win a game, did Sorsby bet on the game, y'all? Yes or no? And then also our conversation last week was, did he bet on his own team as an active player? And we found out, yes, he did. Was he influencing the games? Would an NFL team take the risk with this guy's addiction? Because gambling can be an addiction, and there is clinics, there's all different kinds. And, would a team take the risk with this guy? There was rumors that, this could be an open discussion, as a possibility. And with America, as a max facts, what you need to know that the last time the NFL conducted a supplemental draft was 2019. So this is not like they do it every year. And the reason why they don't is because we've got 7 rounds for you to get selected to the NFL.
Facts.
That's why there's no real need for a supplemental draft. This guy made a decision when the college program entity called the NCAA made a decision to say, we're going to ban you from being eligible. And he said, I'm just going to try and go to the NFL and enter the supplemental draft. And it didn't work. So kudos to the NFL right now has made a decision not to. If the NFL opens this door, I think the only reason why, if they would, unfortunately, he's a half decent talent. He can play in the EuroLeague. He can play for the league that the Rocco owns with someone else if he wants to, if he can get in there. But, should he come to the NFL? Absolutely not. Because if that's the case, why isn't Colin Kaepernick playing?
Facts. Yeah. All right. Well, you can end this one.
So look, this, I'm gonna keep it short and sweet. And I'm gonna come from a place of like that would be like a parental view, right? So like when you think about when your kid does something or somebody you're in charge of taking care of, right? You want them to be able to learn the lesson and learn from it, right? So I think this is a blessing in disguise for Brendan Sorsby, and I'll tell you why. Because in life, if you avoid things and you try to get around things, those things are to come back around, and life has a way of bringing those things back around to you, right? Mm-hmm. And, until you deal with them. He has to deal with this now. So kudos to the NFL for pumping the brakes and say, nah, slow down. You deal with this right now. You get your life together, and then we'll see what will happen, right? This will be part of his story. And maybe, like they say in church, this will be part of his testimony, right? And so, like, I think that's what if he gets past this, it'll be great for his story. And if he finds success and ends up in the NFL, right? So this is a part of his journey. He made this bed, so he has to lie in it, right?
Yeah.
And this is a lesson that he has to learn in order to take the next step in his life. I can't do this anymore. This was detrimental to myself. It's not good for me. I have to be professional. The NFL wants their players to be as professional as possible. The NBA is more strict, but the NFL wants the players to be as somewhat professional, right? And he has to get to that. And so he has to learn that lesson. So I'm glad the NFL put this on hold. He's going to have to figure out what his next steps are going to be. And he's going to have to work hard to get to it, right? Yes, he's talented. Yes, he has an arm and stuff like that. A team was going to take a chance on him, of course, but this is good, I think, for him in the long run.
I piggyback up both your sentiments. More with Walt, he's got to learn. I think going to this supplemental draft would have been an escape for him, and he would have learned what he could learn now. And I think this is a blessing in disguise. He's probably upset and think this is like something that's going to hurt him. This is going to actually help you. You need to get over your demons, fix your problem, and to Mack's point, which is an excellent point, Gambling is an addiction. You need to admit that and analyze that and just come to grips with that. Like any other addiction in life, gambling is one. And he's got to fix that before he can go to the NFL. Would an NFL team have taken him if the draft was done? Yes. 1,000%, Walt. I'm with you. High five. Yes, indeed. But the fact that they didn't is a blessing in disguise. Mack is 100% right. I feel like he's going to get saved by this and will hopefully learn from this. And he may come back better. He's got a cannon arm. He's a good player. He's just got to work out his demons. Yeah. All right. Our last topic of the day is Francisco Lindor. Yes, the Mets franchise shortstop is playing at least one more rehab game, before the Mets decide to activate the shortstop from the injured reserve list after a 2-month absence because of a strained left calf. The Mets right now have gone from stink to just smell real bad, and they're on the bubble of 4.5, 5 out of the wild card. I will let Walt kick this first. I'll let Matt go second, and I will close this out. Do you think they're rushing him? Do you think the Mets can really use him? Will he make a difference and actually boost him to at least maybe, like I said, a wild card spot in the playoffs? What are your thoughts on him coming back 2 months after this calf injury?
I think it's good. Definitely a shot in the arm for the Mets. They need his production. They need his talent on the team. I think, they have some ways to go, to right the ship. But, earlier in the season, you were writing the Mets off. You were like, oh my God, they're the worst. And I think, they had already lost 20 games. And back when we first talked about the Mets as a topic and stuff. So I think it's good for them. And they need him on the team. Still a long season to go, and I think they're 70 something games into the season.
75-ish, I think.
So about halfway. 75. Yeah. So give these guys a chance to, get it together. Can't guarantee what they're going to do. They have the talent on paper, so they should turn it around. We will see. I think Lindor is just going to help them try to get there, but still wait and see for the Mets.
Before I go to Mack, I will say, as bad as they are, they're only 5 out of the wild card, which is insane. And we had this conversation before. Both American and National League are so top heavy. It's like great, and then bottom basement garbage. It's changed so much. You're either elite or you're like I said, you're musty. Mack, what are your thoughts on this, sir?
So, I think he's going to be active tomorrow or Friday's game. It's 1 of the 2. It is a strain injury. It was not a tear, which makes a huge difference. A strain is, rehabable. And just like Aaron Judge went out, as far as his recovery, we had a conversation, and then Ray was very super adamant about Aaron Judge. Like, what are they going to do when they do? I'm like, but they're going to have to do something. They're going to have to still play these games. I was like, why are you so super hyped over this? You're a Mets fan. And here we are. Francisco Lindor this week is coming back. So I am hopeful he will be an energizer to the team, a jolt of energy to the club. We've seen it happen before. Just like Lionel Messi. He got this title. It's going to energize the team. I think it's going to take them. They're going to move forward. They're going to win games where they thought they may not have. And with Lindor being back now, I think that's what you're going to see. Is he going to come out the box swinging? We're going to hope so. Rehab says he should. But is he going to be capable? Is it going to be sustainable? Again, it's a strain. He's been gone for close to 2 months now. So whatever rehab has been working, the Mets have cleared him to play. So that's why he's going to play. So I'm excited for the opportunity as far as Mets fan for Ray. Oh, just so y'all know, Ray is a Mets fan.
There we go.
I wasn't sure.
I don't know if they knew that. Okay, that is true. I'm a diehard Mets fan.
This is one of the things where this can only be an improvement for them. I hope he does not have any setbacks. And that is the big concern when it comes to an injury. He's cleared to play, so play. So let's go.
All right. I think he's going to make a big impact. He is the captain of the team. Him and Juan Soto are like best buds. I think Brett Beatty's going to have to go down. one of these guys is getting back sent down to the farm team. So I think it's either going to be Brett Beatty or it's going to be maybe Young or maybe Vientos. But, someone's going to have to go. Those are the three I would pick right now. I'm definitely not going to let, these young guys, Benj and Ewing, go because they're both lighting up in the outfield. Connor Benj he could look to be rookie of the year. He's playing phenomenal. So I think it's going to have to be Vientos, Jared Young or Brett Beatty. One of those three has to go down right now. If Lindor's coming up,
let Beatty go.
Yeah, Brett Beatty's playing horrible. He's batting like 220 something. They had all this hope in him. I know he was looking like the golden child for the Mets. Brett Beatty's he's a mess. They may keep him because Young is more of a utility player. So I understand where Mack is going with this.
Yeah,
he's young, and I don't know. I feel like he should be the go. But Walt's got something to say. What?
No, I have a question.
Yeah,
look, right, like. So obviously, right now the starting rotation, pitching rotation, it's kind of middle of the pack for the Mets.
Yeah.
So they have talented, from a hitter standpoint.
Offensively, they're solid.
Yeah, but their pitching rotation
garbage.
They need help. So, do you think that if they made a trade for another solid rotation guy, that would help them, right the ship? Because that's kind of where my mind is at, right? Their ERA has gotten worse as the season has progressed. And
yes,
it keeps
it has.
going, right? So right now they're kind of middle of the pack. But with that roster that you have, you need to have your ERA collectively needs to be towards the top, top 10, top 5, if you want to have a chance to compete with the.
Right now they're bordering around 4.5, 5. They need to be at like 3.5, low 2s. I would package Beatty. I would package Vientos and Young and get a pitcher. Because like I said, at the end of the day, who's going to leave? You're not going to send Lindor down. So, Walt, if you had to pick, you're the general manager of the Mets right now. One of those three has to go. Who are you sending down?
Man, it'll probably be Beatty. Yeah, I understand. I understand what you're saying, Ray. I understand. But look, I would try to make a trade. If I was the GM, I would do everything in my power to get that pitcher from Detroit, Scoble.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Okay. But then you have to get something good. All right, but I hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
All right, Mac, who are you sending down?
I just think Beatty's too much of an asset to him. I know right now, in your opinion, he's hot garbage, but Venti, I wouldn't trade Beatty. I wouldn't. Okay. Like, you know what I mean? As a GM,
so you're doing Young or Vientos?
Yes, I'm going Vientos. And hear me out. Hear me out.
All right, I'm listening.
Right,
dude, the floor is yours, sir.
So Vientos, I like him. However, he's not consistent with his play. He's one game
on
good.
The hitting, on the hitting side, I got you.
You know what I mean? Like he's just not consistent enough. But decisions have to be made. Like you guys are both saying Beatty. I'm like Beatty, but they can use him at other positions on the field. He's not just one player. I'm sorry, he's not just one position on the field. And Vientos, that's his downside.
Wow.
Right. So
he's following his baseball.
You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
I just don't
more versatile player. I agree with you 1,000%. Vientos basically plays third and short. Beatty can play the outfield and the infield. You're right.
Yeah. So
guys, we know that percentage points matter in baseball when it comes to hitting, right?
Yeah.
So Brett Beatty, I think he was closer to 3, like 0.300, like he was like 295.
Okay.
His hitting is down like 85, about like 80 points.
So he's down to like 210, right?
219, yeah,
219. Right? Okay.
And so when you have 3 other guys like Simeon is at that 219 mark, Bo Bichette is at that 219 mark, and Vientos is at 223 right now. So he's a little bit better. So they actually, I think they need to trade 1 or 2 of those guys. Maybe Simeon, maybe Bo Bichette. I know he's a new acquisition. Get some pitching, get some younger guys to come in there, get some of these younger guys a chance, because these guys, their hitting is impacting their rest of the team. You know what I'm saying? So
Okay.
All right, so me and Walt are saying Beatty. Mack is saying Vientos. We shall see. It'll happen by Friday. We'll see who's right. We want to put pie on this?
Nah, man, these are starters.
All right.
These guys ain't starters, man.
This is our final buzzer. This is where you can ask us anything about what you want to say. Get your comments, get your questions out. The floor is yours. And let me get to some of these. We have a lot right now. He's saying, why is Dallas coaches have been given the ropes for their owners not to interfere with their teams? Mac, you got that one.
Okay, so why is it all the Dallas coaches have to give me? Well, first of all, they chose a college coach. They didn't choose a veteran, assistant or someone who just got fired from another team who can energize another program. So I think that's why. It just happens we're talking about Dallas because Dusty just got the offer. So I think that's why, Jeff. I don't think it's any other than that.
All right, Eric has a question. That's impressive in the sense that it seems like she just got there in the WA. I'm tired of the beef with Reese and Clark in the sense that their games are so different. That beef does sell tickets, though. Walt said it. You got a point. All right, man.
That's the facts, brother.
And
they
Eric
need to do something.
Messi is so special. Love watching him. At the end, Zimbabwe of France will end up with the overall World Cup record. He's only a few games behind and could probably play in another 3 World Cups. Messi is something special, though. You're on the assumption that Zimbabwe's never going to get hurt. I hear what you're saying. He probably could break that record because he's younger. But, if it was a fifth, we'd all be drunk. So right now, Messi's the king, dude.
Yeah, well, that's why I said it. I think it's between France, and was it? Why am I trying to blank? England. That's why I said it's going to be between the two of them. But yeah, we'll see.
All right. And last comment, Mickey. I think he meant Mano. Just came back from a month or two over the ankle injury. Oh, Mickey Monarch. I don't know who that is. And hit for the Rockies. So Lindor could do the same and help the Mets. Yes, I think he will. Yeah, 100%.
100%. He's going to energize the team. Absolutely.
All right. Well, listen, I want to thank everybody for watching the show. Great show, guys. We will be back next Monday at our usual time, 6 p.m. Monday. The Powerhouse Trio will be back in the house. We have a lot to say. Last chance, Mac. You should want to put some pie on that Brett Beatty? No? Okay.
No. You know what? It's been a while. Now, mind you, if they don't trade him, then
not trade him. Get moved down to the minors. Walt doesn't want to do it, so forget it.
We should do something else for pie. You know what I'm saying? Like not no Mets person.
So when do you want to do a World Cup pie?
So yes, let's do a World Cup pie. We will get one. We will. Let's see. That way, all of us have a stake in it, right? So we all pick the team, right? And we decide which team is going to go further.
Okay.
Whichever team, whoever team doesn't make it the furthest, or I guess gets knocked out earlier, that's who has to eat the pie.
Okay.
So if Mac's guy gets out first and my guy gets out a week after that, I'm okay.
Yes, because Mac got out first. Yeah.
Yeah.
All
right.
I'm putting it with my mom. I'm going to Argentina.
Okay. You going to Argentina? All right. I'm going with France.
France. Oof, man, you guys left me. I should have thought about that before I said it. You guys didn't really leave me with no teams, man.
Well,
you know what? I'm a ride for the U.S.
He's going U.S. Okay. He's going U.S. All right. I appreciate that. He's taking U.S. All right. Well, say your party shot, sir.
Man, it's been great. Shout out to Boink Studios. Shout out to my fellas here. If you want to learn about payroll, tune into It's About Payroll on any podcast streaming platforms. We appreciate you. We wouldn't be here without you. Thank you.
All right. And Max, sir, thank you again. Another fantastic show. I think we're both going to be safe from pie this time. Right. Let's say a little prayer. I'll root for France. You root for Argentina. Let's do this.
Yeah. Now, keep in mind, he is a Nostradamus also, too.
Yes, I don't know, man. I'm a little worried. I've got my shirt cleaned. I got my pie, so we shall see. But go ahead.
Exactly. So, America, thank you always for tuning in. We will love and appreciate tell a friend, as Walt always says. Shout out to Boink Studios. Special shout out to Garvin's Getaways. If you have a need for travel across the globe, whether it be by land, by sea, or by plane, give me a shout out in my DM. We will gladly give you information to make your trip seamless and a great experience. Shout out to Lonnie Best, our music artist, is supporting as well. Other than that, America, please like, share, and subscribe to Boink Studios.
Another great episode, Race Sports and Slams. I can't thank you guys enough for all the support, all the love. Please, like my fellas said, like, share, subscribe, boinkstudios.com, Race Sports and Slams. We will be back Monday at 6 o'clock for another fire show. Lots to talk about. We'll talk about the NBA draft. We'll get into a lot of different stuff. So thank you guys for watching. We will see you next week, 6 o'clock. Have a good night.